Bro. And then how do you feel? So I'm trying to be more active on the channel, so trying new things, you know. If you like or dislike this, let me know in the comments so I know where to go forward, but this is something I've always wanted to try. So what's gonna happen is, as I do these reviews, I don't know if I'm gonna do it for like every movie I see, if I'm gonna do it regularly, but like I think I'm gonna try to. Movies that I have stuff to say about, I think I'll do reviews on. Maybe do the same for games. We'll see where this leads off in the future. But for right now, let's start. So the first part of this video, there's gonna be no spoilers. This is gonna be a spoiler-free zone for the first half of this video. But the second half of this video is going to be filled with spoilers. So the first half is really more for people who haven't seen the movie and maybe want to get into seeing it. And the second half is for people that have already seen it and looking for more discussion about the movie. All right, let's get into it. All right, so spoiler-free section. First of all, I think the movie was great, okay? It was good. It is up there. When I initially saw the trailers for the movie, I thought it was gonna be bad. I thought it was gonna be terrible. It just looked bad. But either they have the worst editing team for their trailers, or they have the best, because the movie totally exceeded my expectation, or exceeded my expectations. It was a good movie. I did not expect some of the things in it. So a lot of the first half of the movie felt really rushed to me, but maybe that's because a lot of the scenes that were in the trailers that I saw aren't in the movie, which isn't unusual for Marvel movies. You know, sometimes they throw little scenes in there to try to like think people, oh, the movie's gonna go this way, but then they take them out, or they were never gonna be part of the movie. Or maybe they're just deleted scenes that somehow made it into the trailer. I don't know. But yeah, the first half of the movie felt kind of rushed, and I'm like, calm down, wait a minute. But you know, it's not like we're not really introduced to any new characters, so we don't have to really waste any time getting into it, you know, or we don't have to really waste any time introducing characters. We all seen them before. You saw them in the last movie. You know, it's back to it. And and I like this movie because it's showing kind of how life has kind of changed a little bit after the snap from Infinity War, and how people are coping with their loved ones being back, relationships being different, time is strained, you know, and they address that, and they make little jokes about it. It's great, you know. It's definitely a great movie. It's especially after Endgame. I think it's a great kind of, I don't know the kind of word, but it's a great follow-up to that. It's a great way to show what the world is like afterwards. And I'll be honest, I wasn't really, when I saw where the movie was going to be in the trailers and all that, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that, because Spider-Man is not actually in New York in this movie. He's actually going out, he's actually traveling, and I wasn't sure how I felt about that, because it's not like Spider-Man doesn't go other places in the comics, but the comics are totally different than the movies, obviously, because with the comics they got so much more time to flesh things out. In the movies, you kind of got an hour or 2 hours to really put your story together, so you can't really flesh it out as much as a comic. And there's plenty of stories of Spider-Man where he's in New York that are great, so I thought they were gonna stick with that, you know, Spider-Man New York. You know, Spider-Man is to New York like Black Panther is to Wakanda.
Bro, what was that? That isn't, what are you talking about? Come on,
bro. Bro, I didn't come here looking.
I'm just saying.
I didn't come here looking for your advice, bro.
I'm just saying.
Review.
I'm just saying it could be better.
What's up,
dude?
This is my review. You won't want to go start your own channel.
Maybe I will.
Dang. But the movie, it was great. Great action. Pretty solid storyline. There was like 1 or 2 scenes in the movie which like just felt out of place, because the rest of the movie was great. You know, if they're based off, I would probably give the movie like maybe like an 8 or 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for these next 2 scenes, like these scenes. It just doesn't. I don't think it goes good with the rest of the movie. They could have left those out, and it could have been even better. You know. Maybe they're trying to increase the runtime. Maybe they thought audiences wouldn't get it because Spider-Man usually has a younger audience. Maybe that was it, but I'm not sure. But I really wish they hadn't added those scenes in the movie, because it would have been better. All right, so my official review: go see Spider-Man: Far From Home. It is a great movie. I love it. Okay, it's great. I'm definitely gonna go buy it when it comes out on DVD. All right. All right, spoiler-free section is over. This is the spoiled section. If you have not seen the movie and you're planning to go see it and you don't want it spoiled, do not watch this part of the video, or come back later after you've seen it, and then add your own discussion. You know, be interactive. You know, share with the group. Okay, but this is for people who pretty much have already seen it and are looking for further discussion with the movie. So, it was a great movie. Like I said before, I loved it. I wasn't so sure about him going to London or being in Europe. When I saw the trailer, I was like, Spider-Man in Europe? That's like a comic story that nobody ever hears about. You know, Spider-Man is in New York. People recognize him for New York. But actually, it was cool. So I mentioned one scene that I didn't like during the movie, or one or two scenes. But I forget the second scene, but the one scene that sticks in my head is after Peter and Beck defeat the magma monster, or the fire monster, or the fire elemental. And Peter trusts Beck with Tony's glasses to be the next Iron Man. And Peter leaves, and we see Beck's illusions like breaking down. And then all his colleagues come out, and they're like celebrating and this, that, and the other, and all this crap. And Beck starts explaining how they got to that point to the people that were with him every step along the way. Like, I get it was to explain it to the audience what's been happening, but it felt like a forced way to explain the part of the movie, because they literally went to specific people and show where they were in previous movies and how they play into the role, because they hated Tony Stark and everything he's done wrong to him. It's like, hey, you help figure out this specific thing. You help figure out this specific thing. But that's like, it doesn't matter. You know, they make, you know, these things add in the little jokes later and all this other thing. But like, that felt like a wasted part of the movie. Like, that, you're just wasting my time at that point, because they're going into a character, introducing him, and blah 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 blah. But here's the thing about that: I don't care about these people. What do? They're not really a villain. They're not the main villain. You know, they're not. They're probably, you know, as soon as you see it, they're probably not going to be seen after this movie. So why are you introducing them like they have a bigger role? You know, like they're doing like I'm supposed to care about them, but I don't. Who cares if Jimmy did the lighting effects, or if Cassandra did it? I don't care. They're interchangeable. It doesn't matter. All that I'm saying, they wasted time introducing these people when they could have just shown that he had people working behind him that also shared the same cause as him. They could have just left it at that. It reminds me of those older superhero movies, which aren't necessarily bad, but this scene reminds me of the worst part of those movies, you know, where the villain stands up and starts monologuing his whole plan to the audience, basically. Usually they do it to the hero, but the hero in this situation, Peter, had just left, and he's explaining it to the people that already know the plan, already know what's happening. So why are you talking, dude? Yeah, so they could have taken that whole scene out of the movie, and it would have been better. Yeah, I think. I like in movies and TV shows generally when they don't just blatantly tell you everything. I hate that expositioning. You like, just let your visuals speak for themselves. That's part of the movie. People take, like, you don't have to explain every little part out. If people don't understand it, if maybe they thought kids weren't gonna understand it, but kids weren't gonna understand it, they'll wait for them to grow up and they'll appreciate it later. I I don't know. I actually don't think kids would have a hard time understanding it either. It was very straightforward, because even after that scene where he's explaining all his henchmen the plan, which they should have known from the beginning, but whatever. Peter and MJ literally find out the whole thing. They find out they don't have to listen to this whole plan. So why should we? We know. God. I'm just saying, have more faith in your audience's intelligence instead of just spoon feeding them the story. You know, I think that really waters down the experience of the movie. Yeah, and I said at the beginning that, I said in the spoiler-free section that I didn't like how the movie was being rushed. It felt really rushed because within like the first, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, they're already on the plane and going to Europe. And I didn't know. I was like, wait a minute, because there's scenes in the trailers that just, I guess those were the fake scenes. If I had to guess, you know how in Infinity War or Infinity War and Endgame, they had little scenes in the trailers that turned out not to be in the movie. That's what they did to throw them off. I'm guessing they're continuing that trend here, because there was scenes like where Spider-Man's helping the cops defeat bad guys. He's like going on vacation. That wasn't in the movie. A lot of scenes from the trailer were not, or not a lot, but a few scenes from the trailer that seemed to take place in the beginning were not in the movie. And I was just like, wait a minute. Like, it was like 1 minute in New York, next on the plane. I'm like, wait, whoa, hold up, where's these scenes? So maybe that's why it felt rushed to me. Maybe those scenes were never planned to be in the movie anyway, but whatever. To me it felt rushed, but that's just my preference. I would prefer the beginning to be a little bit slower. But once we get to the middle of it, once we get into like we see the first elemental come out, I'm like, oh Lord, it was great. The action scenes were beautiful. It was great CGI. One scene that I love, and I guess I'm pretty sure everybody who watched the movie can agree to this, but that scene where Peter goes to tell Nick that Mysterio's been lying, and Mysterio is like putting these illusions all up around Peter and all this other stuff, and like all the stuff is flying around, and it's great. It's a beautifully made scene. I love it. I wish they'd have more stuff like that. Obviously, the director has an idea in mind for the next movie with that ending, but I guess we're gonna have to wait another 2-3 years for that to come out. And speaking of the end of the post-credit scene, well, the first post-credit scene, there's two. Oh my gosh, they brought J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson. That was great. So I appreciate the fact that they did that. I think it was a good choice for the movie. For longtime Spider-Man fans, you know, who wouldn't love it? You know, if you love Spider-Man, you love that guy. They haven't mentioned Uncle Ben in the MCU Spider-Man movies yet, which I think is a little weird because, well, I guess they're trying not to make it like a Batman situation, because in almost every Batman movie, you get reminded, oh, his parents got shot in an alleyway. And we've had 2 Spider-Man franchises now where we were reminded how he became Spider-Man. And I guess they don't want to make it seem so like repeated. That's why they're doing like new villains with every movie. It's not like we have to go through his whole origin again, but I'd like a reference to at least Uncle Ben or something like that. You know, I can't, just like, I always pictured, once I saw Mysterio in the movie, I always pictured a scene where Peter would be like fighting him, and Mysterio does like his illusion thing, and Peter would see Uncle Ben show up, and it would be an illusion, but Peter would be all confused and all that. It didn't happen in this movie, unfortunately. I would have loved to see it. I would have put money on it that was happening. I actually started drawing a comic about it. Didn't get it out in time in the movie, kind of got uninterested in it. I might finish it later and might do a little something with that. Also, side note, shameless plug, I have an Instagram where I draw. It's full of my art things. I might be posting more stuff on there. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me there, you can. It is right in this video box. But if you want to follow me there, you can. So do it. Do it. I'm not gonna continue this review till you do it. You think I'm playing with you, bro? I'm not doing it. You did? Good looks, bro. Appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, the action, pretty solid. You know, it's a Marvel movie, so you know there's gonna be some good action scenes. I think I've said it like 18 times already, but yeah, great movie. Can't wait for the next one. They really set it up for the next one. The next one better hit it out of the park, you know. This is like, it's pretty good, you know. It was definitely better than Homecoming. Homecoming, if I could, well, when I first saw Homecoming, I loved it, and I still, when I first saw Homecoming, I loved it, and I still do love it. It's still a pretty good movie. I still, you know, I bought it, and I watch it from time to time. But it's definitely gone down. I would have given a Homecoming the way they're setting it up, it kind of looks like they're trying to make him be the next Iron Man, or not even the next Iron Man. I don't like when people say that. I shouldn't have said that. That was the wrong choice of words. I think it'd be better. I think they're like, he's the next big Avenger, you know? Because, you know, Iron Man's gone, Captain America's gone, Hulk, or not Hulk, Thor is whatever. You know, all the OG Avengers are gone, so they're trying to like, who's the next ones, you know? Who's here? And they're setting him up to be a big one. A Tony, I won't say he's trying to be the next Iron Man, but he's trying to be the next Iron Man level of superhero. And I guess this is the next step towards that, because everybody knew who Tony Stark was, or who Iron Man was. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is now. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy part. I did not expect that. They did great. And then the other post-credit scene where Nick was taking a vacation in the forget their names, but you know what I'm talking about if you've seen this movie. It was great. Loved it.